I have an amazing book haul for you today. Welcome back to Books Like Fun. I'm Bo. Let's get into it. I got the Darkest Minds series. I saw a video that was a clip of a movie or a show that was this series, and I really want to read it. I think the movie was a while ago, but I just heard about these. So I'm just getting back into reading more and more and more. So I've never heard of these before, but the clip of the video that I saw seemed very, very interesting. Something happens and then kids get superpowers or something. Hopefully they're good. If you've read these, let me know. By Alexandra Bracken? Let me know. Special bonus content inside. Super excited about this one. I love these symbols. So cool. So the first one, now a major motion picture. Exclusive Liam story inside. I don't know who Liam is, but if anyone else has read this, this has an exclusive Liam story inside. All right, let's see what this says. Book 1 in the New York Times best-selling series. When Ruby woke up on her 10th birthday, something about her had changed. Something alarming enough to make her parents lock her in the garage and call the police. Something that got her sent to Thurmond, a brutal government rehabilitation camp. She might have survived the mysterious disease that killed most of America's children, but she and others emerge with something far worse, frightening abilities they cannot control. Now 16, Ruby is one of the dangerous ones. But when the truth about Ruby's abilities, the truth she kept hidden from everyone, even the camp authorities, comes out, Ruby barely escapes Thurmond with her life. On the run, she joins a group of kids who escaped their own camp, Zoo, a young girl haunted by her past, Chubbs, a standoffish brainiac, and Liam, their fearless leader, who is falling hard for Ruby. But no matter how much she aches for him, Ruby can't risk getting close, not after what happened to her parents. While they journey to find the one safe haven left for kids like them, East River, they must evade their determined pursuers, including an organization that will stop at nothing to use Ruby in their fight against the government. But as they get closer to grasping the things they've dreamed of, Ruby will be faced with a terrible choice, one that may mean giving up her only chance at a life worth living. Okay, so Liam is their leader. So there's an exclusive Liam story inside this book. Awesome. It seems like all books like this have some kind of safe haven thing, like The Walking Dead had a place that they were trying to get to that was supposedly safe from zombies. I think I Am Legend was looking for a safe place. He kept using the radio to try and contact people. I think that's kind of something they do in all of these type of books, huh? All right, I'm only gonna read the back of the first one because I don't want anything spoiled. But these symbols are really neat. I also got The Bridges of Madison County by Robert James Waller. This is an older book, and I had a copy of this book before, and I'm gonna make a video about this book and my other copy of this book, so check that out whenever that comes out. But this is a very short book. There are songs that come free from the blue-eyed grass, from the dust of 1,000 country roads. This is one of them. And so begins a story that you will never forget. The Bridges of Madison County is the story of Robert Kincaid, a world-class photographer, and Francesca Johnson, an Iowa farm wife. Kincaid, 52, is a photographer for National Geographic, a strange, almost mystical traveler of Asian deserts, distant rivers, and ancient cities. He is a man who feels out of harmony with his time. Francesca Johnson, 45, and a once young war bride from Italy, lives in the hills of South Iowa with flickering memories of her girlhood dreams. Each of them is content, yet when Robert Kincaid drives through the heat and dust of an Iowa summer and turns into her farm lane looking for directions, their illusions fall away and they are joined in an experience of uncommon and stunning beauty, an experience that will haunt them forever. As the photographer, Kincaid uses light to reveal not objects, but rather his own kind of truth. What occurs by the old bridges of Madison County become a prism transforming the ordinary emotions we think we understand into something rare and brilliant. The result is a passionate, deep-moving experience in lyrical prose, an achievement that puts Robert James Waller in the forefront of this country's new fiction writers. And this book was first printed in 1992. The next book is The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey. I've read a book by her. Sarah Gailey also wrote Just Like Home, which was a book that I read last Halloween or something. It was really good. It was really spooky, really freaky, and I think I compared Hemlock Island to Just Like Home. So hopefully this book also has some spooky elements to it. Entertainment Weekly says a trippy domestic thriller which takes the extramarital affair trope in some intriguingly weird new directions. All right, let's see what this says. I'm embarrassed still by how long it took me to notice. Everything was right there in the open, right there in front of me, but it still took me so long to see the person I had married. It took me so long to hate him. Martine is a genetically cloned replica made from Evelyn Caldwell's award-winning research. She's patient and gentle and obedient. She's everything Evelyn swore she'd never be. And she's having an affair with Evelyn's husband. Now, the cheating bastard is dead, and both Caldwell wives have a mess to clean up. Good thing Evelyn Caldwell is used to getting her hands dirty. Interesting. Okay, can't wait to read that one. The next book is Bride by Allie Hazelwood. I bought this book because someone in my book club read it and she wants to be able to talk to somebody about it. So I need to read this book soon so I can talk to her about it. A vampire bride and an alpha werewolf form a dangerous alliance in this enthralling new paranormal romance. Misery Lark, daughter of a powerful vampire councilman, is an outcast. Her days of living anonymously among the humans are over. She has been called upon to uphold an alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Wares. Wares are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Low Moreland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not without justice or feeling. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's every movement that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew how right he was. Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience, reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances and everything to do with the only thing she's ever cared about. And she is willing to do whatever it takes to get back what's hers. I used to read a lot of vampire werewolf stuff, the Anita Blake books, things like that. So interesting. I'm excited to read this one. She's a #1 New York Times bestselling author of Love Theoretically. I'll have to check that one out too. The next book is Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. I bought this book because of the cover. It's just so awesome. It's a VHS tape, and I just think that's a super neat way to present the book. An emotionally charged, twisty, and haunting thriller you won't soon forget, Lisa Jewell. Rated T for thrilling. Alright, well, what is this about? After their mother passes, 3 estranged siblings reunite to sort out her estate. Beth, the oldest, never left home. She stayed with her mom, caring for her until the very end. Nicole, the middle child, has been kept at arm's length due to her ongoing battle with a serious drug addiction. Michael, the youngest, lives out of state and hasn't been back to their small Wisconsin town since their father ran out on them 7 years ago. While going through their parents' belongings, the siblings stumble upon a collection of home videos and decide to revisit those happier memories. However, the nostalgia is cut short when one of the VHS tapes reveals a night back in 1999 that none of them have any recollection of. On screen, their father appears covered in blood. What follows is a dead body and a pact between their parents to get rid of it before the video abruptly ends. Beth, Nicole, and Michael must now decide whether to leave the past in the past or uncover the dark secret their mother took to her grave. That sounds super interesting. I have a couple other books that happen after parents die and the kids have to come back and clean out the house or something. So maybe I'll read all of those one right after the other and do a video of who did it best of kids coming back to clean out their parents' house after they die. We'll see. Okay. Now, also in this book haul, I got a bunch of other Once Upon a Book Club boxes. So let's see what books are in those. I will do individual videos unboxing all the stuff that's in there, but let's look at the books. I love these boxes. They're so cute. So this book is called In Nightfall by Suzanne Young, and let's read the back. Theo and her brother Marco threw the biggest party of the year and got caught. Their punishment: leave Arizona to spend the summer with their grandmother in the rainy beachside town of Nightfall, Oregon, population 846 souls. The small town is cute when it's not raining, but their grandmother is superstitious and strangely antisocial. Upon their arrival, she lays out the one house rule: always be home before dark. But Theo and Marco are determined to make the most of their summer, and on their first day, they meet an enigmatic Minnow and her friends. Beautiful and charismatic, the girls have a magnetic pull that Theo and her brother can't resist. But Minnow and her friends are far from what they appear. And that one rule, Theo quickly realizes she should have listened to her grandmother, because after dark something emerges in Nightfall, and it doesn't plan to let her leave. So that kind of sounds like, what was that movie? Lost Boys? Is that the movie? That kind of reminds me of that. So, interesting. Okay, so a couple vampire books that I have to get through. This next one is Deep in Providence by Rhys M. Nielsen. All right, so let's see what this one's about. For best friends Miliani, Inez, Natalie, and Jasmine, Providence, Rhode Island has a magic of its own. From the bodegas and late-night food trucks on Broad Street to the hill that watches over the city, every corner of Providence glows with memories of them practicing spells, mixing up potions, and doing seances with the help of magic Miliani's Filipino grandfather taught her. But when Jasmine is killed by a drunk driver, the world they have always known is left haunted by grief, and Jasmine's lingering spirit. Determined to bring her back, the surviving friends band together, testing the limits of their magic and everything they know about life, death, and one another. As their plan to resurrect Jasmine grows darker and more demanding than they imagined, their separate lives begin to splinter the bonds they depend on, revealing buried secrets that threaten the people they care about most. Miliani, Inez, and Natalie will have to rely on more than just their mystical abilities to find the light. Thrilling and absorbing, Deep in Providence is a story of profound yearning and what happens when three teen girls are finally given the power to go after what they want. I don't think that's going to be a good idea to try and resurrect their friend, but we'll see what happens. It sounds very, very interesting, and I'm going to guess that this one is Jasmine, because she looks like a spirit. So there's the author. Awesome. That'll be interesting. My husband's Filipino, so I wonder if he's gonna know anything about the Filipino grandfather stuff in that book. So that'll be interesting. I'll have to talk to him about that when I read that book. Next is Circus of Wonders by Elizabeth McNeil. let's see what this one is about. An addictive novel about power, fame, and a love that is threatened by a terrible secret. Step up, step up. In 1860s England, circus mania is sweeping the nation. Crowds jostle for a glimpse of the lion tamers, the dazzling trapeze artists, and most thrilling of all, the so-called human wonders. When Jasper Jupiter's Circus of Wonders pitches its tent in a poor coastal town, the life of one young girl changes forever. Sold to the ringmaster as a leopard girl, sold to the ringmaster as a leopard girl because of the birthmarks that cover her body, Nell is utterly devastated. But as she grows close to the other performers, she finds herself enhanced by the astonishing freedom of the circus and by her own role as the queen of the moon and stars. Nell's fortune very quickly begins to glitter, and with it, a chance for Jasper to realize his dreams of world renown. But what happens when her fame eclipses his, when even Jasper's loyal brother Toby becomes captivated by Nell? No longer the quiet flower picker, Nell knows her own place in the world and she will fight for it. A gorgeously wrought exploration of celebrity, power, and belonging. This is a historical novel unlike any other, with an unforgettable heroine at its heart. I wonder if she has vitiligo. I wonder if that's how they'll explain her birthmarks, or if there are some other kind of birthmarks. That is interesting, and I don't normally like historical fiction type stuff, but this seems very interesting. This one is The Storyteller by Catherine Williams. The cover is very busy. It's not every day you discover you might be related to Anastasia Romanoff, or that the tragic princess actually survived her assassination attempt and has been living as the woman you know as Aunt Anna. For Jess Morgan, who is growing tired of living her life to please everyone else, discovering her late aunt's diaries shows her she's not the only one struggling to hide who she really is. But was her aunt truly a Russian princess? Or is this some elaborate hoax? With the help of a supremely dorky but undeniably cute local college student named Evan, Jess digs into the century-old mystery. But soon Jess realizes there's another bigger truth waiting to be revealed. Jess Morgan. Because if she's learned anything from Aunt Anna, it's that only you can write your own story. Interesting. I don't know a whole lot about Russian type stuff, so this is super cool. And the cover makes a little more sense now because there's those Russian nesting dolls. So I bet all of this stuff is some kind of Russian design. All right, so that'll be interesting. I'm not done. I got a few more books in my book haul. Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. This book I'm reading for my book club for July. Sisters, Secrets, Love, and Murder. For as long as they can remember, Jessica, Nora, and Alicia have been told how lucky they are. As young girls, they were rescued from family tragedies and raised by a loving foster mother, Miss Fairchild, on an idyllic farming estate, and given an elusive second chance at a happy family life. But their childhood wasn't the fairy tale everyone thinks it was. Miss Fairchild had rules. Miss Fairchild could be unpredictable. And Miss Fairchild was never, ever to be crossed. In a moment of desperation, the three broke away from Miss Fairchild and thought they were free. Even though they never saw her again, she was always somewhere in the shadows of their minds. When a body is discovered under the home they grew up in, the foster sisters find themselves thrust into the spotlight as key witnesses. Or are they prime suspects? A thrilling page-turner that will make you question whether the past can ever truly be buried. Nice. That's gonna be a good one. I'm also adding to my Stephen King collection The Body, which was turned into a movie called Stand By Me. 12-year-old Gordy LaChance and his 3 friends set out on a quest to find a boy from a nearby town who has disappeared. They search for his body along the railroad tracks during a miserably hot summer and soon learn that monsters are not lurking in their closets but live in the hearts of people. The Mist, which was also turned into a movie. In the wake of a destructive Maine summer thunderstorm, an impenetrable mist descends from the direction of a local military facility and infiltrates the small town of Bridgeton, Maine. David Drayton and his son Billy are swept into a living nightmare as unnatural and violent forces concealed by the mist begin to emerge, wreaking havoc in their wake. Now trapped in the local supermarket with a ragtag group of survivors, David unexpectedly faces a growing threat within, one that promises to challenge the boundaries of sanity itself as humanity makes its last stand against unholy destruction. In this horrifying mist, hearing is seeing and believing. And what you're about to hear, you'll never forget. Both of these include excerpts from Fairy Tale. I think I have Fairy Tale, so I need to read that too. And Misery. And this was also a movie a while ago, but I've never read these. So, best-selling novelist Paul Sheldon has finally met his biggest fan. Her name is Annie Wilkes, and she is dismayed to discover Paul's plans to kill off Misery Chastain, the heroine of his beloved series. Annie is more than a rabid reader. She is Paul's nurse, tending his shattered body after an automobile accident. She is also his captor, imprisoning him in her isolated house where no one knows he is. Annie wants Paul to write his greatest work, just for her. She has a lot of ways to spur him on. One is a needle, another is an axe, and then there's the blowtorch. Winner of the Bram Stoker Award for Best Novel, a classic film starring Academy Award winner Kathy Bates, and recently adapted for the stage starring Bruce Willis and Laurie Metcalf, Misery is one of King's most brilliant and formidably unnerving books ever. When did they do a play or on stage starring Bruce Willis? I gotta look that up. Interesting. Okay, so those are all the books that I've gotten recently. Hopefully I'll get to read some of them in the next few months. I need to get to reading all these Stephen King books I got. Eventually I will probably do a video on all of those books. The Once Upon a Book Club boxes, I will read and open the gifts on camera. The others I will do reviews of, so look forward to those. If you're interested in what that Once Upon a Book Club box was, click the video over here. If you want to see another one of my videos, click the video over here. See you next time. Bye.